Today we're gonna create together these soft cover notebooks, recycling the huge amount of packaging paper that we find in the boxes every time we buy something online. From cutting the pages, to binding them, to decorating, watch until the end and you will never want to throw away packaging paper ever again. Guaranteed. Hi everyone, this is Carlo and welcome back to my channel. My latest online shopping arrived with a lot of packaging paper, so I thought I could make at least 3 journals out of this. I started laying the packaging paper on the floor and I flattened it using my hands. This will also help you check if there's any damaged bit that you want to remove. I've also used the iron to press it even more, but we don't want to remove the creases completely, because they kind of give the character to our notebook. Once I got the paper flat, I removed the damaged part so that I could have a straight edge to begin with. I started measuring and cutting the pages of my notebook. Essentially, you can decide what size your notebook is gonna be and double the length, because every page will then be folded in half. My notebook is slightly bigger than a passport. It's 14 by 10 centimeters, so I cut pages that are 14 by 20 centimeters. Measure and cut as many pages as you can get from the amount of paper that you have. Once I got all the pages, I folded them in half and grouped them together for the binding. For each notebook I needed 10 pages, which folded in half would generate 20 good pages to write on, sketch on, create on. My brain is buzzing. To create the cover, I've simply cut some colored cardstock, the same size of the other pages, plus 1 extra millimeter on each side. I folded it in half without pressing too much this time, so the spine remains soft and you can work better with it. It's time to bind our notebook, but first we have to pierce the holes for our thread to pass through. We're going to create on a piece of paper some sort of guide to make sure that the distance between the holes stays consistent. For this size notebook, I marked 1.5 centimeters from the end on each side. Then I marked the center. And lastly, I marked the 2 intermediate ones at an equal distance. Now we transfer the 5 marks along the internal center line of our journal. And we do the same along the external spine of the cover. We reassemble cover and journal pages together, keeping them linked with some paper clips. And using a big needle, we pierce the holes on the marks that we've made. There are many different stitches that we can use to bind our notebooks. I'm gonna show you a very simple and effective one. It's called the chain stitch. All we need is some resistant thread of any color you like and a curved needle. If you don't have a curved needle, you can still use a straight one, it will do the job. We need to measure a piece of thread that is around 3.5 times the height of our notebook. I normally run the thread against the candle to give it a subtle wax coating. Now pass the thread through the needle, tie a knot, and we are ready to start binding. We're gonna start going through the bottom hole from inside the notebook, and then through the second hole on the outer cover. We want this first stitch to be solid, so we pass it again through the bottom hole and into the second on the cover. Now we are inside the notebook and we pass through the central hole. Next step is to create the chain with the previous stitch. So we pass the needle through the stitch this way, we pull gently, and we go through the central hole again. Now we go through hole number 4, and once we are through, we chain with the previous stitch and go through the hole again. Essentially, we repeat this step until we go through the last hole and we are inside the notebook. Now we pull the thread gently to compact our stitching and tie a knot to secure it. The binding is now complete. We can clamp it tight with some paper clips and cut the pages that protrude, either using scissors or a guillotine, so we have a clean straight rim. If you don't like to see the stitching on the outside, you can simply cover it, creating a spine for your notebook, using a nice washi tape, or gluing a strip of decorated paper or fabric. You can also make an entirely new cover or a sleeve where to slide your notebook in. Or if you make a perfect passport-sized notebook, you can use a passport holder as a cover. Really, you have a lot of creative possibilities here. Experiment creating journals of different sizes for different purposes. Feel free to round the corners to give it a super soft look. And add labels and tabs if you feel like. You can also decorate the inside pages before or after you bind the notebooks together. Here I made a little notebook for coffee lovers like me, simply staining and splattering the pages with coffee and drying them with a hairdryer. Once your notebooks are ready, I recommend you to keep them clamped with a couple of metal paper clips for at least one day so that the pages can compact and flatten. Recycled packaging paper has an interesting tone and texture, perfect if you want to sketch on it or journal. You can gift these little notebooks to your friends and family. As I said, the color of recycled paper is so cozy and comforting, and also less intimidating than white paper when we want to experiment and create. That's pretty much it for today. I hope you enjoyed this little journey into sustainable reuse of packaging paper. And if you like this video, please leave it a like and a comment below, so that we can exchange ideas also for the next videos and projects. Thank you once again for watching, take care and see you soon.